The user of these tools can find them either by clicking here, the technical selection, or by clicking here. The rationale behind this decision support system is very simple. An owner, an operator, or somebody with a very strong interest on the technical aspects of this problem has practically three options. The options of doing nothing, option A, the option of installing a pre-selected Windows technology, option B, and the third option, option C, of installing a non-Windows technology, for example, an advanced waste heat recovery system. This is a very common scenario, and we have to highlight here that this model is practically technology agnostic because we do not specify which Windows technology or which non-Windows technology is considered. The model considers some criteria. These criteria are broken down into technical and financial. The technical criteria are expected. For example, space, safety, construction consideration, the matching and energy efficiency of the new technology with the pre-installed propulsion plant on the ship, and of course the delivery logistics and all these issues that relate to the logistics of the yard. At this point, we would like to highlight that it's very common that a technology that is mature and commercialized in a region might not be available where the yard is located, the yard that will undertake the retrofit and installation of this new technology. So it is very important to consider these three criteria. The financial criteria are also expected in the sense that they are commonly used in the market to the availability and request of specific securities, and of course the available financing. So these criteria provide us with an insight, and they break down the problem up to a level that we consider as appropriate for the moment in order to select one of these three options: do nothing, install the Windows technology, or install another technology, option C. For the needs of this model and following the theory, we consider this criteria as independent. That means that, for example, the available financing as financial criterion does not impact or does not depend on any of the other criteria, technical or no or financial. In reality, however, we have identified dependencies. Therefore, we provide a solution without dependencies and a solution with some dependencies. The dependencies that we consider is that the energy efficiency criterion relates to the input of the age and type of the ship, and of course of the available financing. I think that this is pretty straightforward because many lenders decline to finance ships when they are older than a threshold, usually 12, 15 years of age, and when the available financing is not in place, then many of the operators or the technology providers do not proceed with the project. Moreover, we consider that the available securities as a criterion relate to the yard logistics. And this is also something that comes out of experience because many yards do not proceed or financiers do not proceed when the available securities are not in place. So, as you can see here, the user of this model, the decision maker, has to answer to some simple questions. For example, are the criteria, the technical criteria, more important than the commercial financial ones? And in order to provide the answers and reveal his preference, the user can select one of these listed answers: strongly agree, equally disagree, and strongly disagree. So, for example, here we can select strongly agree. What is very important is that this rationale Of course, it's followed in all other questions, as you can see, but the theory says and obliges us to keep the error of judgment, for example, when we have two questions like here, to keep the error below the threshold of 10%. So as you can see here, we have an error of 13%. So we have to change this one of these answers. For example, the strongly disagree or the agree as a reply here might not be logically consistent. I'm not getting into the details of the questions in the essence, but you can see here that if we change the agree to disagree, the error becomes 2.8, and therefore we keep um, the error below the threshold, and our judgment is consistent. The same applies for all the other questions, as you can see here. 0%, 0, 4%, 4%. Here we have a 13% that we have to change. Once again, I'm not getting into the essence of the questions, but just showing the numerical mechanism behind it. So once all the errors are below the 10%, below the 10% threshold, then we can see our results. Our results, as I said before, without dependencies and with dependencies. The model yields these relative scores, as you can see. And this is, let's say, in absolute values. And we can see, for example, that the option of selecting a non-wind assist technology is more preferred, slightly, and the option of WASP is slightly less preferred than the option of the non-wind assist technologies. And of course, the doing nothing is, let's say, the least preferred. If we consider the answer with dependencies, this is what we get here. More or less the same ranking. But as you can see, we have different results. Here it is 0.294, here is 0.248. So, of course, we can adjust, we can give our preferences. Here we can explore. For example, if we have here agree, and if I put here disagree, we can see the inconsistency, but we can also check here the results. What is very important for the user to understand of this model, that this model is based on this criteria. These criteria reveal the level of detail we would like to achieve. We would like to achieve a high level or approach because we would like to keep this model as technology agnostic, and because we would like to deem the results reasonable, valuable, and useful. So we provide all the necessary tools here for the user to explore and to select the right model. I remind that our goal is to decarbonize through the wind assist by using wind assist technologies. So we have to be also reasonable and find a technical solution that suits the technical case.